What's up, guys? One Koala Man here, bringing you episode number 52 of our fairy tale reviews. And that kind of rhymed a bit, but other than that, I'm going to do a little bit of a mini update right now. And the mini update is that school is starting up next week for me, so videos will only be coming Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Now, if they happen to come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, that'll be solid, but for right now, it's going to be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Also, me and a friend of mine, Joseph, have been starting a new project. It's where we do reviews on movies, where we list our top genres of movies, the whole 9 yards. You'll see when I upload it. It'll also be on his channel as well. We're going to be rotating videos and all that stuff, but we'll explain that, in the future. I don't have a set schedule for that, so, We'll figure out a schedule somehow. That's pretty much about it for the mini update. So, if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to hit that like button down below. Be sure to answer the question of the day and follow me on Twitter, both which will be in the description below. So check those out. Be sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel, because I welcome every single one of you, old and new, to the channel with open arms and wide open arms at that. And if you guys enjoy, just share it to your friends, family, loved ones, grandparents, parents. Well, that's your family, so never mind. But with all of that said and done, let's get this mother underway. So we start today's episode off with what I thought was going to be another filler episode, and that is the squad is working at a restaurant called 8 Island. It's in the port town of Harjian, and they're working as waiters and waitresses at this restaurant. So I'm thinking, oh my lord, another filler episode. But anyways, they're working there to help Lucy out financially, pay off her rent and all that. So, and she's complaining kind of because she's wearing this funky getup. Her and Urza are, and then Natsu is wearing a tuxedo. Happy's even wearing a tuxedo. Gray is not wearing a tuxedo. He is half dressed. All he's got is pants and a bow tie and no shirt. Typical Gray, huh? But turns out the owner of the 8 Island restaurant is Yajima. And if you don't remember Yajima was one of the Magic Council. He was a part of the Magic Council. So that's pretty insane that a former Magic Council member is the owner of a restaurant now. So after a long, hard day of working, the squad finally, gets off work. And they're talking with Yajima, and Yajima is actually saying, I wonder where Ultir disappeared off to, because everybody else, disbanded, and they're making a new Magic Council, but Ultir's nowhere to be found. And then speaking of Ultir, we see off wherever, we see a giant flying ship, and it belongs to a guild called Grimoire Heart. And apparently Ultir has been a part of this dark guild for as long as we can all remember. So she's been a part of this guild the entire time, and she's inside the ship talking to her master, who is Master Hades, and we don't really see who he is just yet. We see little silhouettes of him and the dark formations of his figure, I guess, whatever you want to call it, and he's got some menacing voice. So I don't know, I'm waiting to see what Master Hades looks like. But going on to the next day, we see every single Fairy Tail member looking at this diagram of every single Dark Guild that Regis drew up, that Mira Jane was asking him to draw up. And it's because all the Dark Guilds are getting more and more active as the days go on. And in the middle of this diagram is this big oval shape. And that oval shape is the Barum Alliance. And what the Barum Alliance is it's an alliance of the 3 most powerful Dark Guilds out there. And they are Grimoire Heart, Oracion Sace, and Tartaros, or Tartarus. So everybody's talking about what these Dark Guilds are and, giving us an introduction of them. But the Master Makarov, comes in and says, look, we have to destroy one of them, and we have to destroy Oracion Sace. And even though there are only 6 members in the Oracion Sace, they are powerful AF, okay? They are ridiculous, and Fairy Tail cannot do it alone. So Makarov says that the Fairy Tail and Blue Pegasus and Lamia Scale and Kate Shelter will all work together to take down these 6 wizards. But it's not the entire Blue Pegasus Guild, entire Fairy Tail Guild, and all that. They're gonna each bring their own representatives to represent Fairy Tail, and then like the representatives from each guild will work together to take down the Arashio and Sace. And then we move to the actual Arashio and Sace looking down at a forest and like this big plume of black like smoke or something. And we see this one guy who is named Cobra, hence the, Cobra with him. But he's talking about like he can hear the trees dying or something like that, something weird like that. And then we see little glimpses of the rest of the members of the Arashio and Sace. But back to the Fairy Tail Guild. We're on like a wagon going to the rendezvous point at this point. Wow, that sounded weird. But there is the squad representing the entire Fairy Tail Guild. And the only reason why Gagio and Juvia aren't there is because the Master sent them two off on a different mission while they send the squad on this mission. Alright, so finally they make it to the rendezvous point, and this place is one of Bob's, houses. And Bob, if you don't remember, is the very flamboyant guild master of the Blue Pegasus Guild. And when the squad gets inside of the Blue Pegasus house, we see the representatives of Blue Pegasus, and there are 3 of them. There are Hibiki, Eve, and Ren, and these guys are like the ladies' men. They are like the playgirl. Is that the word? Because a playboy is like a girl, so I'm guessing playgirl is a guy. But anyways, they're ladies' men, and they're flirting on Lucy and Urza, not really paying much attention to Natsu, Gray, and Happy. And then we hear another man's voice, and Urza gets like shaken up. So like this guy might be super powerful or something. Like he's making Urza nervous. And then we see him, and he's probably taller by a little bit. He's probably a little taller than Master Makarov, because this guy is short. His name is Ichiya, and he is also representing the Blue Pegasus Guild, and he just loves Urza to death for whatever reason. I don't think we ever find out the backstory behind Urza and Ichiya. And Ichiya is a weird case because he just loves the parfum, in his words, which is like a fancy word for scent. He loves the smell of people, and he especially loves the parfum of Miss Urza Scarlet herself. I don't know why. I don't know what kind of smell she's giving off, but Ichiya loves it. And it's weird because whenever he sniffs, he says it. He's like, sniff, sniff, and he sniffs. Which is kind of weird, because I've tried saying that and sniffing at the same time, and it doesn't work. So Ichiya's freaking weird, but apparently he's a pretty skilled wizard. So, I guess that's good. And then we see the representatives of Lamia Scale, and they are Leon. If you remember Leon, Gray's old, friend, I guess you can call him his rival, the Cold Emperor. There's Leon, and there's Sherry. So they're in the Lamia Scale Guild, and everybody's like kind of tense about this, and so everybody's like getting ready to fight at this point. And then like this one guy comes in, and he's like, okay, stop guys. And this guy has a presence to him, okay? His name is Iron Rock Jura, and he's got such a presence because he is one of the 10 Wizard Saints, and he is representing Lamia Scale as well. I'm surprised he's not the master though, because they didn't mention he was the master of Lamia Scale. And then Leon and Sherry are bragging like, oh, you both brought 4 members to represent your guild, even though there's 5 in Fairy Tail, but they don't count Happy ever. And we only need 3. We only got me, Sherry, and Jura with us. And then Jura points out, he's like, well, Kate Shelter's only bringing 1 person. And I'm like, wow, this person must be strong. So we see little glimpses of this person coming, and then in the house we see a little girl run inside and trip over herself, and we see it like replayed like 5 times. And this little girl is representing the whole Kate Shelter Guild, and her name is Wendy. So what can Wendy do? And it looks like Natsu knows who she is, because he's like, Wendy. And he's like looking at her kind of odd. But Natsu, she's a little girl. Don't you even think about what I think you're thinking. But But that is the end of the episode of Fairy Tale for today. Alrighty guys, you already know I don't like to end off without a question of the day. And today's question of the day is, what is your favorite restaurant to go to? It could be a local restaurant, it could be like a nationwide restaurant, it could be like a worldwide restaurant. It could be a fast food restaurant, it could be any kind of restaurant. Let me know down in the comment section below. Mine is Denny's. I absolutely love Denny's. I love that they serve breakfast all day. I'm pretty sure IHOP does the same thing, but Denny's is just better. I love Denny's to death. There used to be this one place called Hometown Buffet. That used to be my favorite until they shut it down for some like Chinese restaurant. I don't like Chinese food. I know, right? Sue me, right? But I just loved Hometown Buffet. And then when I got introduced to Denny's, and whoo! Denny's is freaking good. But let me know your answer down in the comment section below. And with all that said and done, guys, as always, keep it cool.